Why is almost every poem about love or death? Of course, this is not true, but it's almost true. And the reason is because love and death are the two things that perplex us the most. And so it makes sense to pour gallons of ink onto paper to try to figure these two things out. Is My Team Ploughing is one of A.E. Housman's contributions to our understanding of death. Let's start with looking at the structure of this poem as a whole. It has 8 stanzas of 4 lines. The rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, and the meter is iambic tetrameter, which gives us a natural conversational rhythm. The odd-numbered stanzas are questions, and the even ones are the answers to those questions. And that's because this poem is a dialogue. Let's read the whole poem first before we break it down. Is My Team Ploughing by A.E. Housman. Is my team ploughing that I was used to drive, and hear the harness jingle when I was man alive? Aye, the horses trample, the harness jingles now. No change though you lie under the land you used to plough. Is football playing along the river shore? With lads to chase the leather, now I stand up no more. Aye, the ball is flying, the lads play heart and soul. The goal stands up, the keeper stands up to keep the goal. Is my girl happy that I thought hard to leave? And has she tired of weeping as she lies down at eve? Aye, she lies down lightly, she lies not down to weep. Your girl is well contented, be still, my lad, and sleep. Is my friend hearty? Now I am thin and pine, and has he found to sleep in a better bed than mine? Yes, lad, I lie easy, I lie as lads would choose. I cheer a dead man's sweetheart, never ask me whose. It's a dialogue between a dead man who asks the questions and a living man who answers them. Here's the first exchange. Is my team ploughing that I was used to drive, and hear the harness jingle when I was man alive? Aye, the horses trample, the harness jingles now. No change though you lie under the land you used to plough. We discover a few things about our first speaker in this first stanza. For one thing, he's dead. And we know that he used to be a farmer. The kind of farmer that cares about his plow horses. Enough to ask about them anyway. We also learn a bit about the second speaker, the guy he's talking to. This person is familiar with the horses, and he reports that they are doing just fine. And that nothing much has changed since the first speaker has passed from this life. Then there's another question. Is football playing along the river shore? With lads to chase the leather, now I stand up no more. Aye, the ball is flying, the lads play heart and soul. The goal stands up, the keeper stands up to keep the goal. The dead fellow is asking about the guys. Are they still playing soccer? There wasn't a lot of time for sports in agricultural communities back in Housman's day, in the last years of the 19th century. If they were to play football at all, it would likely have been on Sunday afternoons, the one day that they didn't work. The second speaker informs him that yes, the lads are still playing. I don't think it is too much of a stretch to suggest that these two were regulars at the Sunday afternoon games. And this tells us that perhaps these two are fairly young. The farmer here died a young man. And then another question from our inquisitive corpse. Is my girl happy that I thought hard to leave? And has she tired of weeping as she lies down at eve? Aye, she lies down lightly, she lies not down to weep. Your girl is well contented, be still, my lad, and sleep. He's wondering about his girl, concerned even. Is she happy? He did not want to leave her, and he assumes that she cried herself to sleep after he passed away. He's wondering if she's still sad. Now, what do you suppose he wants the answer to be? When I ask my students this question, they quickly say that he wants to hear that she's happy. And of course he does. He loved her, and of course we want the ones who we love to be happy. But maybe there's a small part of him that wants to hear that she still cries herself to sleep. He wants to hear this because he wants to be missed, right? Now, dead people, if they care at all about the living, are not likely to be this self-centered. And if we are honest with ourselves, this sentiment is our sentiment. I think this is about the living. It's probably very tiny, but as we sit here, alive, We want to be missed when we are gone, because it means that we are loved and valued. The reply from the friend is really funny. He informs the dead guy that she lies down lightly. It's a metaphor that she is no longer weighed down with grief. When she lies down, it's not to cry. She's contented as she closes her eyes to sleep. And then the funny bit. He says, "Be still, my lad, and sleep." He's basically saying, "Okay, it's been good talking to you, but you should go back to sleep now, back to being dead." Really, what he's saying is that he doesn't want to answer any more questions. Why not? But there is one more question. Is my friend hardy, now I am thin and pine? And has he found to sleep in a better bed than mine? Yes, lad, I lie easy. I lie as lads would choose. I cheer a dead man's sweetheart, never ask me whose. The question is, how are you doing, my friend? The dead young man hopes that his friend is sleeping in a better bed than the grave in which his body rests. And the answer is that I am fine. He says he lies easy. It's a metaphor that it's never hard for me to go to bed. I like it there. He lies as lads would choose. Well, how would a young man choose to lie? With a young woman, of course. And with the last two lines, we discover which young woman he has since married. I always ask my students, is this a true poem? If I take up this poem early in the course, the answer is usually no. Dead people don't ask questions. And this is true. But is this poem saying that this is what dead people do? Or is it saying something else? We ought not to judge a poem based on whether it's factual, but if it's true, and there is a difference. This poem is saying something that is indeed true. Some say that this poem has an element of betrayal in it. And I suppose it does if dead people can carry on conversations with the living. But they can't, so I don't think it's really about betrayal. This poem is saying that when a loved one dies, people eventually move on. And this is not only true, it's amazing. If you've not yet experienced the death of a loved one, you likely will, and you will likely, after a time, move on. This doesn't mean that you forget them or that you never loved them, but it means that you go on living. And this is a good thing. Join me next time when we look at another poem about death that also uses this dialogue motif. But its truth is much different than the one we find here, and it's funnier and much more brutal. Thank you, and we'll see you there.